Today, we're going to talk about something you might see every day, a simple garden flower. But what if there's more to it than meets the eye? What if it's actually telling us a story?
I'm talking about the Mandevilla. You know the one, right? That gorgeous vine with these huge trumpet-shaped flowers that just takes over trellises and fences in the summertime. It's a total staple for patios and gardens, just this incredible, familiar splash of color.
But what if that ordinary plant is trying to tell us something? You know, something really profound. What if its whole being, its structure, its name, even how it lives and dies back, is a kind of story? Well, that's exactly what we're going to get into.
All right, so where does this secret start? Well, like a lot of good stories, it starts with a name. Or actually, in this case, it starts with two very different names, and they've got this really interesting tension between them.
So on one hand, you've got its formal name, Mandevilla. That's named after a guy, Henry Mandeville, an English diplomat. It's all about preserving a person's memory. But then you have its common name, rock trumpet. And that does something completely different. It's not about memory, it's about meaning. And honestly, that's where all the poetry is.
Let's just unpack that for a second. Rock. In a biblical sense, what does that make you think of? Strength, right? Permanence. God is our rock and refuge. It's solid, it's quiet, it's unchanging. But a trumpet, that's like the exact opposite of silent. It's an announcement, a declaration. It's all about grabbing your attention. So you put them together, rock, trumpet, and you get this incredible, beautiful paradox.
So what's the takeaway here? It's this idea that stability doesn't have to be mute. That faithfulness, even when it's quiet and solid, can have a voice. It's such a huge concept, and it's all packed into the name of this simple flower. Pretty cool, right?
Okay, so this idea of strength, this paradox, it's not just a clever name. It's literally built into the plant itself. I mean, you can see it in the way it actually grows.
Think about it. A tree stands on its own, right? But the Mandevilla is a vine. It doesn't just creep along the ground. No, it reaches up, it climbs toward the sky. And how does it do that? By wrapping itself around something else, a trellis, a fence post, anything that's firm and steady. Its whole journey upward completely depends on holding on to something strong.
So its whole character, botanically speaking, is defined by that relationship. It has to be flexible, not brittle, so it can wrap around things. It's a climber. It's always reaching up. And here's the key. It is absolutely dependent. It's not self-sufficient. So its strength isn't about being independent or standing alone. It's found in its connection, in its attachment.
And that right there, that's another one of those quiet, deep truths. The vine is kind of teaching us that real growth isn't about becoming so strong that you don't need anyone or anything. It's about learning where to place your dependence. It's about finding what's truly sturdy, what's reliable, what's true, and holding on to that.
All right, so we've seen this theme in its name, we've seen it in its structure, so now let's get to the main event, the part everyone loves, the flower itself. Because that beautiful shape, it's making a proclamation of its own.
I mean, look at that bloom. It's absolutely stunning. You just can't ignore it. And that trumpet shape? It isn't just pretty for pretty's sake. It's not some random aesthetic choice. It's functional. It has a job to do. Yeah, think about a real trumpet. What does it do? It gathers sound and projects it outward. Well, the Mandevilla flower does the exact same thing, but visually. It's designed to draw pollinators in. It directs all your attention right to the center. It's almost like a little satellite dish, gathering up light and color and movement and focusing it into one single bold statement. Its beauty is its proclamation.
But of course, this incredible display, it doesn't last forever. The Mandevilla is a sun lover. It needs that warmth and light. So when the seasons start to turn, when it gets cooler, the flowers fade away, the vine kind of pulls back on itself.
But, and this is so important, this isn't the end. It's not defeat. It's not failure. It's a time of dormancy, of conserving energy. Down below, the roots are still alive. The main structure is still there. The trumpet is just resting.
In this cycle, it mirrors such a deep pattern that we see in Scripture and even in our own lives, right? The idea that there's a season for fruitfulness, that there are times of silence that don't mean we've been abandoned. It's a great reminder that so much work is happening beneath the surface, stuff we can't even see, just getting ready for the right time to bloom again.
So when you start to put all these pieces together, the name, the way it grows, the bloom, its seasonal cycle, the plant stops being just a plant. It becomes something more. It becomes, well, a living parable.
You know, there's this really fascinating line in the Gospels where Jesus says that if people were silent, the stones themselves would cry out in praise. It's this incredible idea that all of creation bears witness that it speaks.
And the Mandevilla? It's a perfect example of that. Here is creation speaking. Its trumpet doesn't make a single sound. It doesn't blast a note. It blooms. And in that very act of blooming, it proclaims.
This is exactly what we're talking about when we say a parable in chlorophyll. It's more than just a pretty vine. The Mandevilla is telling a whole story through its structure, its beauty, its timing, and even through its restraint in the winter. It is, for all intents and purposes, a sermon without a single word.
So let's just recap everything this humble flower is showing us. It's this living testament to all these beautiful paradoxes. It's anchored, but it's always ascending. It's dependent, but that's where it finds its strength. It's completely silent, yet it proclaims so much. And yeah, it's seasonal, but at its core, it's always faithful.
So, the next time you walk past a Mandevilla, or really any part of the world around you, maybe just take a second, take a closer look, and just ask yourself, what are the silent proclamations going on all around me? What are the parables in chlorophyll that are just waiting for me to notice?